When we think of military power, we picture tanks, jets, or warships, but what about trains? Massive, steel giants built to haul weapons, armor, and sometimes even entire armies. Today, we're diving into the 5 biggest military locomotives ever built. Machines so powerful, they turned railways into battlefields. So let's start with number 5. Meet the MBV-2, one of the most powerful armored trains ever built by the Soviet Union. The story of the MBV-2 starts in the mid-1930s, when the Soviet Red Army wanted a mobile fortress on rails, something that could patrol key railway lines and fight off tanks, aircraft, or enemy infantry. Built by the Kirov plant in Leningrad around 1936, the MBV-2 was unlike anything the world had seen before. This beast wasn't just armored, it was engineered for war. The entire train was covered in steel plates up to 20 millimeters thick, protecting it from small arms fire and shrapnel. And underneath, it had a specially reinforced chassis that could withstand landmines and explosions. Now, let's talk about what made the MBV-2 truly terrifying: its weapons. It was armed with 3 massive 76.2 millimeters guns, each mounted in rotating turrets taken straight from the T-28 medium tank. On top of that, it carried multiple 7.62 millimeters DT machine guns for anti-infantry defense. Each MBV-2 had a crew of around 30 to 35 soldiers, including gunners, mechanics, radio operators, and even spotters. And yes, it had advanced communication gear for its time, allowing coordination with infantry and aircraft units in battle. When this steel beast rolled into combat, the ground literally trembled. When World War II broke out, the MBV-2 trains were used mainly on the Eastern Front. By the end of the war, only a few MBV-2s were still operational, but their legend lived on. They proved that even in the chaos of World War II, innovation could roll on steel wheels. Number 4. Meet the BR-52 Kriegslokomotive, built for one purpose: to keep the Nazi war machine running. The BR-52 wasn't designed for comfort or luxury. It was built for survival. Between 1942 and 1945, more than 6,700 units rolled out of factories across occupied Europe. It became the backbone of Germany's military logistics, hauling tanks, troops, and ammunition straight to the front lines. Every part of the BR-52 screamed wartime efficiency. It was a simplified version of the pre-war BR-50, stripped of non-essential parts to save materials. No fancy metals, no excess weight, just raw power and function. Under the hood, it packed a 210 wheel configuration, delivering immense traction even on rough and icy tracks. Its condensed steam system and smoke deflectors made it perfect for harsh European winters. But here's the wild part: this wasn't just a train, it was a mobile war machine. Some versions were even armored, equipped with anti-aircraft guns, turning the BR-52 into a rolling fortress. After the war, these beasts didn't die out. They were captured, rebuilt, and reused by countries across Europe, from Poland to the Soviet Union, serving long after the guns went silent. The BR-52 Kriegslokomotive was more than just steel and steam, it was the engine that powered an empire at war. A symbol of how far industrial power can be pushed when survival is on the line. Number 3. Meet the Hrvatski oklopni vlak, the Croatian armored train, a terrifying mobile fortress from the Croatian War of Independence. In the early 1990s, as Croatia fought for its independence, resources were limited and creativity was the key to survival. Engineers and soldiers teamed up to create something extraordinary: a train turned into a tank. The Hrvatski oklopni vlak, which literally means Croatian armored train, was built using ordinary railway cars, but modified with steel plates, sandbags, and concrete for protection. It was improvised, yet extremely effective. Each car of the train had its own purpose. Some were packed with machine guns, anti-aircraft cannons, and mortars, while others carried troops, ammunition, and medical supplies. The locomotive itself was heavily shielded, often with layers of steel armor and gravel-filled panels, to resist small arms fire and even light artillery. What made it truly unique was its mobility. The armored train could move quickly between battle zones, provide fire support, and transport soldiers safely through hostile territory. It was literally a moving fortress on rails. The Hrvatski oklopni vlak saw intense action during the Croatian War of Independence from 1991 to 1995. It was used to defend key rail lines, support infantry, and even engage enemy positions head-on. In battles near Vinkovci, Vukovar, and other war fronts, the train became a symbol of Croatian resistance and ingenuity. Today, the Hrvatski oklopni vlak stands as a proud reminder of courage and resourcefulness. Number 2. Meet the Krupp K5, the monster railgun that rode on steel tracks and struck fear across Europe during World War II. This wasn't your regular train. It was a moving fortress of destruction, built to dominate the battlefield like nothing before it. The Krupp K5 was designed by the German company Friedrich Krupp AG in the late 1930s. It wasn't a locomotive for passengers or cargo. It was a rail-mounted artillery cannon, one of the largest ever built. The entire gun sat on a two-part rail carriage, stretching nearly 220 feet long and weighing over 200 tons. At its heart was a 280mm caliber gun barrel, capable of firing massive 255-kilogram shells, that's over 560 pounds each, to distances up to 40 miles. Imagine hitting a target farther than most cities are apart. But to make that shot, the K5 needed custom curved railway tracks to aim, and sometimes even concrete firing positions for stability. There were several variants built, but two of the most famous were Leopold and Robert. These two guns were used extensively in Italy and France, bombarding Allied positions with incredible power. In fact, Leopold was captured intact by U.S. forces near Civitavecchia, Italy, and it's now preserved at the U.S. Army Ordnance Museum in Maryland, still towering over visitors as a reminder of wartime engineering might. The Krupp K5 wasn't just a gun. It was a symbol of how far human engineering can push the limits of possibility. A train that didn't carry people or goods, but terror and steel, reshaping the way wars were fought. Number 1. Meet the Stefanik Armored Locomotive, one of the most iconic armored trains ever built during World War II. A rolling fortress that turned train tracks into battlefields. Built by Czechoslovakia in 1944, the Stefanik was named after Milan Rastislav Stefanik, a national hero known for his courage and leadership. This wasn't just an ordinary train. It was part of the Czechoslovak resistance against the Nazis during the Slovak national uprising. When air support was limited and tanks were scarce, the resistance used railways to their advantage, transforming locomotives into armored combat machines. The Stefanik was built on a 2-10-0 steam locomotive chassis, meaning it had 10 driving wheels for massive traction and power. It was covered with steel armor plates up to 20 millimeters thick, protecting its crew from gunfire and shrapnel. The train was divided into heavily fortified wagons, each with a specific role: command, infantry transport, and artillery support. And here's where it gets crazy. The Stefanik carried 75 millimeters cannons, heavy machine guns, and even anti-aircraft weapons. It could engage enemy tanks, aircraft, or infantry, all while moving across the front lines. In the hands of skilled crews, this train became a mobile stronghold, launching attacks, evacuating troops, and even rescuing wounded soldiers under fire. Despite facing overwhelming odds, the Stefanik and its crew fought bravely through 1944 and 1945. Today, this legendary train has been preserved at the Zvolen Railway Museum in Slovakia, standing as a symbol of courage and innovation in wartime. So there you have it. These locomotives weren't just trains, they were moving fortresses of war. Which one impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more insane vehicles from history and beyond.